Hey friends, so recently you've been hearing me talk about the back pain that I've been going through. I have a slip disc and two disc in my vertebrae that is losing space. So I don't want it to, hopefully it won't fuse together. That'd be a bad situation. I'll definitely need to get surgery or something. But I also got what's called trigger fingers. That's where the joints in the fingers lock up, and it's extremely painful. Last year, after I did my endless miles ride, I think that was 12,000, 980 miles, something like that. That's when it started, right? My fingers got stuck in a, motorcycle handle position, and it locks up like this, and I have to pry it, literally pry it, to break that lock position, and the joints rubbing against each other is pretty painful. In the mornings, I wake up like this, like a bear claw, and I gotta massage it, I gotta pry it open, do whatever to get it loosened up. During the day, it's mostly very stiff, like overworked hands and so forth. And sometimes when I grip something narrow, especially to get a firm grip, it locks up. And again, I gotta use my other hand to pry it open, or both of them are locked. I gotta find some surface, use that surface to bend the fingers open, and it is painful. Normally, the pain threshold number 1 to 10 that I'm at, when it does lock up, it's like a 7, 8. When I pry it open, it gets to 8, 9, and it hurts like a blank. Mostly during the day, it's stiff, maybe like a 3, until it locks up. It's bad. My back, normally I'm riding a 7, pain threshold of 7, and recently it's been getting to 8. It has peaked at 9, where I am bending over with hand on my knees and just praying. The pain is relieved. The work I do, lifting heavy stuff, it puts pressure on my vertebrae, and it's not a good thing. Prior to this year's riding in 49 states, I trained for it somewhat, doing a lot of stretching exercises. That came about after last year's ride. I needed to do something with my back to be more mobile and less pain, so I did a lot of stretching exercises, and that helped quite a bit. On this year's ride, it wasn't honestly that bad. I didn't have that significant amount of pain throughout the entire ride on my back. The hand, yes, that didn't change. Last year I did have significant back pain riding due to the slip disc, and I didn't have enough time to prepare or know enough about stretching exercises to help with that. Nevertheless, it's gotten worse, and I have to do something about it. Surgery is out of the question at the moment for several reasons. It costs a lot, especially when you have independent insurance. And those of you have your own business, work for yourself, you know what I'm saying about that. Even with company insurance out of pocket, it gets to be expensive, so forth. So I'm looking forward to getting my first shipment of Matera oils. As a company that I had researched, I did a lot of research on the internet looking for a bona fide, what I consider bona fide company with a lot of good information, transparency on their website and so forth. And I found one. Matera is it. So I'm going to be getting the first shipment, hopefully maybe at end of the day today or tomorrow or by this weekend, and put it through the test. I've been approved by Matera as a retailer, and I am very excited about that. But I'm not gonna speak about it, recommend it, or sell it until I am 100% confident that it works for me. All right, I've heard a lot of testimonials on the internet and people sending me messages that they currently use CBD oil. Some people use CBD oil with THC. The type I am getting will have 0 THC. Why is that important? THC is the active ingredient that gives the high, all right? And at the workplace with the random drug screens and the drug and alcohol policy, and if your number is called and you get the random drug test, some of that THC level may be detectable. It doesn't matter whether it's less than 0.3% or so forth. If it triggers, it's gonna be a positive test result, which means it could end up being termination of employment. So that's something important to me when I looked into it. Not that I work in the corporate world anymore, but for anyone else that I'm going to recommend, especially if I'm going to be retailing the CBD oil, I do not want to put anyone in a situation where their employment at a company is jeopardized. All right, so that's very important to me, and it all boils down to integrity. Now, before I got involved with Medterra CBD, I went online off eBay, found some topical ointment that's CBD oil, all right? And I believe this has some THC in it, okay? And I couldn't really find her. I didn't spend enough time searching high and low for ones without THC, all right? This little 1 ounce container, I believe, costs anywhere 10 to 15. I forgot the exact dollar I had spent on it. All right, 1 ounce container. So this topical ointment, all you do, just like anything else, and it is kind of oily feeling. It doesn't have much of a scent to it, just like any type of oil. You know, just take a dab of it. It's like a wax type of feeling, but oily wax. And this one is 1,000 milligrams, so it is, I believe, one of the strongest dosage for its topical cream ointment. Okay, I'm going to apply it to all the joints. Right now, pain threshold is about 3. However, it's kind of raw, stuck, like the joints are meshing together. And I'm hoping for relief, a little more, less pain when I move those joints, because that's when the pain threshold can get up to 5 to 7, okay? When it's trigger fingered locked, that's when it's like 8, 9, especially when I have to pry it open, okay? The sensation that I get on it, not much. It just feels like regular oil on it. We'll see what happens. So tune in. I'll tell you my honest opinion, and I gotta make sure I don't get any type of imaginary psychosomatic type of feeling. It's got to be factual as possible for myself. Me not thinking, oh yeah, it's working. All right, I gotta indeed feel it in the fingers and make sure that it truly does work for me. Like I said, many people have said that have messaged me and told me that stuff works, okay? Some of the people messaged me asking a question about what I'm ordering, what I may be selling. It costs less. They're using something more expensive. So if this turns out to be a viable alternative, which is great, especially without the THC, what I'm going to be carrying, that's going to be even much better, because there's no greater feeling in making sure, not that the low levels would give any type of, you know, distraction from mental faculty, right? High, that's too low of a percentage, but just eliminating any chance, because maintaining focus, just a great feeling. And CBD oil is supposed to help with that. Lessen anxiety, all right, help with stress, and a lot of other health benefits. CBD oil has been told to me, actually through last night, a friend in town is using on her dog that's got cancer, and she showed me the pictures of the dog's leg, and the cancer, it was pretty ugly stuff, and it's amazing how fast that dog has healed. And it's only been, I believe she mentioned, 30 days of use of the topical ointment and the CBD oil, along with a couple other things. So fantastic news. Another friend sent me a message that he's using CBD oil for his son who's got a condition. I got a friend in around the country that's using topical ointment for pain. So a lot of great information out there. The great thing about CBD oil, it's non-addictive, and that is the problem we have in this country with pharmaceutical companies and doctors prescribing the heck out of pain medicine. And it's, you know what, I say for most part, great part, it's probably due to the patients demanding prescription. Just give me a prescription to relieve the pain. We become addicted to it. Just pull out that pad, doctor, give me a prescription. I don't want to deal with the pain. So, you know, for most part, I believe we have only to ourselves to blame for that. Now that most people have been made aware about the addiction problem, we're demanding alternative fixes, right? Because we don't want to end up with a drug problem, and that's what it is. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm very hopeful, praying that this stuff is going to work for me and that it'll work for some of you that are facing similar pain problems, as well as want to improve our health for many things. And I have type 2 diabetes, so I've been told that the CBD oil helps with diabetes as well, where people have been cured. And just for information, those of you who don't know enough about diabetes, there's type 1 and type 2. Type 1 people do not produce any insulin whatsoever. Insulin helps regulate the blood sugar level in our body, which also is involved in the ability to carry oxygen throughout our body. Type 2 people like myself, whether it's genetically acquired or it just happened through maybe lifestyle, okay? We produce insulin, but it's not used correctly to regulate the blood. It may not be produced at the right time when we need additional insulin to regulate the glucose level in the bloodstream. Okay, so that's just a tidbit. So enough words from me. I'm hopeful. I'll see you soon. Thank you.